Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are. Welcome to the Vegan World 2026 Moonshot podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about animals in schools. And we are joined by Stevan Andricin, who is the producer of a new documentary called Animals, A Parallel History, along with this book on animals, a parallel history, and a curriculum for schools, which he's petitioning the UN to make it compulsory for all children above the age of 12. Now, before I introduce Stevan to you, let me tell you something that happened yesterday. I was putting my granddaughter to bed, and she wanted to do a comprehension, fifth grade comprehension, because she's going to be entering fifth grade in the fall. So there's a fifth grade comprehension about cows are complicated. Okay, so this is the book. Comprehensive Curriculum of Basic Skills for Children in fifth grade. And so it has all these reading comprehension about animals. And the section about cows says, would you believe cows have 4 stomachs? It sounds incredible, but it's true. Here are the hows and whys of a cow's digestive system. So then it goes into digestive system, the 4 stomachs, and how the food goes into one stomach, comes out into the other stomach, and so on. But the interesting thing is at the end, it says, the 4th stomach is called the abomasum. Digesting food that can be turned into milk is a full-time job for cows. Did you read that last sentence? Did you hear that last sentence? Digesting food that can be turned into milk is a full-time job for cows. This is how we indoctrinate our children into thinking that animals are there for our purpose. For our purpose. So the cow is just eating food to create milk for us. And so we indoctrinate our children like this. And this is how I think I was also indoctrinated, when I was growing up. So welcome, Stevan. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for your pioneering work in this area.
Thank you, Silas, for your kind invitation to your program.
My pleasure, as always.
That book, what you
right
told us is it's normal.
It's normal. Yeah, this is how we normalize the exploitation of animals.
That's normal, That's so we believe in the illusion, of anthropocentrism.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we are living in the world of illusion. We know that, but the biggest, one of the biggest illusion is the illusion of anthropocentrism,
mm-hmm.
and that propaganda is spreading that illusion everywhere, and in the schools, in media, in movies, and everywhere,
Right. Well, begin with the nursery rhymes, right? Ba, black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. 1 for my master, 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. So the sheep is obviously creating wool just for us. that's his job, right?
Yes, that's terrible.
Yes.
So people still believe that we are some chosen I don't know, species.
Right.
Who is above all animals.
Mm-hmm.
But I have some note here. So
Before we
we
go there, Esteban, let me start by asking you, how
so
did you get started in this? What is your story? How did you get started in this field?
well I this was during my other documentary movie
Hmm.
serial, and I found the story about the jumbo elephant,
Jumbo. Okay.
and I was shocked with this story. It is amazing biography. Uh, People don't have biography like Jumbo.
Hmm.
It is something really unbelievable, you know. And I started to research more and more uh, individuals, animal individuals in the history, you know.
Hmm.
And I opened the next door and next door, and I learned more and more about the history, animals in the history.
Hmm.
And I wonder why we don't have that in the schools. You know, we don't have at all uh,
Right.
these animals in the history. You know.
Right.
But we have animals in wars, you know, factory farming and everywhere. You know.
Right.
And when we grow up, then we can see not all of us, but then we realize what's going on,
Right.
what is really what is true about the animals. You know?
Hmm.
And in the last 300 years, uh, we have uh, we have made some metrics for the animals, some kind of health.
Help. Yeah. Help for them.
This is
Hmm.
system, you know,
Right.
like Tom Reagan say, it is the system, you know.
Right.
So, and I just like to reveal that
Mm.
to the people, you know, especially for the children,
Yeah.
because if they learn in the early stage of
Hmm.
life, they can they have time to think about that, and you know, to decide
Right.
what we'll do in the um, behave to the
Right.
animals, you know.
So, so your idea is to introduce the history of animals and what how animals have been used by human beings in the last 300 years, especially into
Yeah.
schools as a curriculum for school children, right? But along with that, do we need to change the existing curriculum? Because the current existing curriculum is indoctrinating them into the kind I just read,
Yeah.
that animals are there for us to use. I mean, it says clearly there that's how from the fourth stomach the cow creates milk.
Yes.
It's,
Well, it's not easy.
right,
It's difficult, but we must start from somewhere, you know. And I think
right,
animal history is a good start.
right.
I We know we have that human education, humane education.
Hmm.
Um, Many organizations have that some sort of humane education, and it is very old idea, more than 100 years, you know.
Okay, humane education. Okay.
That, and we don't have any results with that. You know.
Hmm.
I know the U.S. Districts rejected the the humane education,
Hmm.
and I think the animal history is could be much easier to get in the schools,
To get in the schools? Okay.
because we all already have history,
Right. Hmm.
and we can involve animal history in the history curriculum. Huh?
Right.
It is very easy to do,
Right.
So I don't see we can do that.
So, Stevan, what is your background? Are you an educator?
Well, I don't have a university.
Hmm.
When I started to the University of Philosophy
Hmm.
and Sociology,
Hmm.
uh, I was in the former Yugoslavia,
Okay.
and the war began,
Hmm.
and I was a refugee
I see.
from Yugoslavia, and I go to the uh, Hungary. I'm
Hungary.
half,
Okay.
I'm half Hungarian,
Okay.
and I need to work to to stay alive,
Right.
and
Right.
I drop everything, schools, and
Hmm.
I was a graphic novelist, designer, graphic
Hmm.
designer. Um, and after the war, I came back and then established my studio,
Okay.
movie company, and publishing uh, house.
Hmm.
And I start to make documentary movies,
Okay.
for the television. And that was in that part of my life, I learned about the movies, everything,
Mm.
and after that, I because I was involved with animal rights before that, and vegetarian in that time,
Mm.
I start to work on this documentary movie. So
I see.
yeah.
So, how did you turn vegetarian? How did you become an animal rights activist?
It was in my before the war,
Mm.
in my 20s, early 20s. I was born in the part of the former Yugoslavia in Vojvodina. It is
Okay.
near border with Hungary,
Okay.
and it's agricultural uh, part of the state.
Right.
Uh, it is the fortress of meat eating,
I see.
So, and I have some changes in my mind, because to become a vegetarian or vegan or animal rights animal lover, you must have some spiritual changes.
Right.
You must change your mindset. You
Hmm.
know,
Right.
and in that changes, I became vegetarian. But I didn't eat eggs or milk, so it was almost vegan. We don't know in that time. We don't know about veganism.
Hmm.
It was very long ago.
How long ago was that?
Hmm?
How long ago was that?
How- In the 91,
91, 92. Okay.
uh, 89, and it was not in one day.
Right.
It was an evolution.
Evolution. But did an animal play a role in this? Did some animal play a role in it?
Well, I have some very interesting event because uh, in this part of the country we have many slaughtering, of the animals, and I was on one event one morning,
Mm-hmm.
and I was shocked, with the slaughtering of the pig,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you don't believe me that, but I heard that pig say to me, "Help me,"
Right.
inside. How can I tell that? Uh,
Right.
Nobody heard that, but I heard that,
Hmm.
and I think, oh, maybe I'm crazy or something, you know. Uh, yeah,
Well,
but
my granddaughter talks to animals. I mean, she communicates with animals, and for
yes,
her,
I
it's
know.
not at all crazy. It's
That's interesting. I know one person who talked with animals.
hmm.
It's, I think it's possible, really,
Yeah.
in some level of the mind.
Right. I mean, the animals are talking to her, and she's talking to them and it's all telepathic, right? So
Wow.
yeah. So I
What
believe you when you say the pig told you help me.
what they say to her?
Oh,
What?
it's interesting. She's speaking to elephants, and the elephant is telling her, she's asking the elephant, do you prefer jackfruit or bananas? And the elephant is saying, actually, I prefer peanuts over all of this.
Oh,
And
really?
things like this, right? Uh, so she's having a conversation with them. She's talking to them. She's asking them questions, and they answer to her, and she relays it back. And she's very serious about it. So I can see that for her, it's real. It's happening.
Can you make footage of that?
You
This is
want to put her in the documentaries doing this?
that's fantastic thing.
Right.
It's like in the Disney movies, you know.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
was talking to the. Phew,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. There is a whole. I mean, she took an animal communication class, and she has a teacher who was teaching her how to do this, and basically saying, use your mind. How do you say, this is the elephant you want to talk to? And so you use your mind and talk to the elephant. And there were two children who were happily talking to the elephants. So I was witnessing that, and for me, I was saying, I wish I could do that.
Like
But
Doctor Dolittle.
I know I wish I could do that and be Dr. Dolittle. But actually, it's for me, uh, my first, I guess, the epiphany that happened to me that made me change and start looking at animal rights very seriously was right after I got on an elephant. So I was taking an elephant ride, okay, in India, in Jaipur, India, and we were going up to a fort, okay, and all the tourists were on elephants. So my wife and I got on this elephant who was a very old matriarch, okay, old elephant, and she walked the slowest among all the elephants. All the other elephants went up the hill, and she's walking slowly, behind them all. So we reached there at the end, and so her mahout did not hit her at all. Okay, so he was very gentle with her, letting her do her thing. And but the other mahouts I could see were hitting the elephants, making them go faster, because faster you go, the more money you make, right? That's a system we have. So she dropped us off. So when she dropped us off at her eye level. So we got off at her eye level. And when I got off uh, her back and I looked into her eyes, she told me, "You too." I mean, that's what came into my mind. She was saying, "You also
Mm.
climbed on my back." So anyway, I got that message from her, and I immediately said to my wife, "I'll never ever ride an elephant again. That's it. I'm done."
Yeah, I also look into the eyes of the pig,
Hmm.
blue eyes,
Hmm.
when she told me that. Blue eyes,
Right.
beautiful blue eyes.
Right. Yeah, I think through their eyes they're able to send that. I mean, I got a message very clearly from her saying, "You too, you too." So it was like she had that uh, sadness in her eyes.
Mm. How old you was?
Oh, I was old. I was 46.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
in that time we have some calls, invitations from the animal world.
right.
Well, sad stories. Do we have something?
No, but this is it's important that they're waking us up. The animals are waking us up and saying, think about what you're doing. And so I'm glad the pig spoke to you so directly, because otherwise you wouldn't be doing these documentaries. So maybe let's show your the trailer of the documentary. Okay, Animals: A Parallel History. I'm going to show that now. Okay.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had a still, E-I-E-I-O, with a drip, drip here, and a drip, drip there, drip, drip there, drip everywhere, drip, drip, rattle, rattle here, rattle, rattle there, here, rattle there, rattle everywhere, rattle, rattle, honk, honk here, honk, honk there, here, honk, there, honk, everywhere, honk, honk, gobble, gobble here, gobble, gobble there, gobble there, gobble everywhere, gobble, gobble, quack, quack here, quack, quack there, here, back there, back everywhere, back, tick, tick here, tick, tick there, here, tick there, tick everywhere, tick, tick. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had a wife, E-I-E-I-O. With a gimme, gimme here, a gimme, gimme there, here, gimme there, gimme everywhere, gimme, gimme, drip, drip here, drip, drip there, here, drip there, drip everywhere, drip, drip, rattle, rattle here, rattle, rattle there, here, rattle there, rattle everywhere, rattle, rattle, honk, honk here, honk, honk there, here, honk there, honk everywhere, honk, honk, gobble, gobble here, gobble, gobble there, here, gobble there, gobble everywhere, gobble, gobble, quack, quack here, quack, quack there, here, quack there, quack everywhere, quack, quack, tick, tick here, tick, tick there, here, tick there, tick everywhere, tick, tick. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see it on my screen. And
Oh, hold on a second. Maybe let me see if I.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
I see you and me.
E-I-E-I-O.
Hold on a second. I think I know what's going on.
I see you and me.
Oh. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had a still, E-I-E-I-O, with a drip, drip here, a drip, drip there, here a drip there, drip everywhere, drip, drip, rattle, rattle here, rattle, rattle there, here, rattle there, rattle everywhere, rattle, rattle, honk, honk here, honk there, here a honk everywhere, honk, gobble, gobble here, gobble there, here a gobble there, gobble everywhere, gobble, gobble, quack, quack here, quack, quack there, here, quack there, quack everywhere, quack, quack, tick, tick here, tick, tick there, here, tick there, tick everywhere, tick, tick, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on this farm he had a wife, E-I-E-I-O, with a gimme, gimme here, a gimme, gimme there, here, gimme there, gimme everywhere, gimme, gimme, drip, drip here, drip, drip there, here, drip there, drip everywhere, drip, drip, rattle, rattle here, rattle, rattle there, here, rattle there, rattle everywhere, rattle, rattle, honk, honk here, honk there, here, honk everywhere, honk, gobble, gobble here, gobble there, here, gobble everywhere, gobble, quack, quack here, quack, quack there, here, quack everywhere, quack, quack, tick, tick here, tick, tick there, here, tick there, tick everywhere, tick, tick. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
I must say this is the older version. We have
Okay.
we have the new, you know.
Okay.
The movie is now colored, you know, full.
Right. So it's now full color version.
Yes, full colored.
This is the trailer I got off the website. So the
Yes.
Animals Apparel History website.
Yeah, we don't replace that with my admin is have some problems with the back, you know.
Okay. So, but I'll post the website on the chat so people can. So you have the documentary now completed, right? Yeah, it's a full-length documentary. It's now completed. Have you gone through all the sound mixing and everything? Everything is done?
It is everything done now.
Everything is done. Okay.
Everything.
So you're
Yeah.
now looking for how to distribute it, or what?
Thanks to you, Silas, it is done.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure.
Because it was very little, you know, to finish that. But you can't do that without some support, you know.
Right. Yeah.
After so many years. Well, I'm going through all that years through very difficult times. But I never give up. Because of one dream. I will tell you that dream after the program because this is really, really shocking.
Okay.
Yes. So I never give up because I must finish that, you know.
Right.
I have some agreement, you know, with animals.
With animals, yeah.
That's very weird thing. So I think this is the very good tool for the schools, you know. We have our book, the book, and the movie, you know.
So what does the book contain? What do you have in the book?
The book is the text of the narrative in the movie.
Okay.
Plus, we have more things, more topics. You know. Because the original movie is more than 100 minutes length, and I have more text in the book. You see, now we have the first version, more than 100, and then I made the 50 minutes education version, and
Okay.
now I made this 18 uh,
80
minutes
minutes. Right.
version because of the streaming uh, online on services, like Netflix and others. They now have that standard of 18 minutes.
Okay.
And but this topic animals in history is so big and so wide.
Right. Right.
Uh, I, I have one more thing must to cut from the movie because we don't have enough space about fuel.
Hmm.
It is very interesting part, but we don't have a space for that. Minutes,
Okay.
and so I made the people in the Budapest vegan are interested to start with experimental teaching,
Okay.
classes in September or October this year,
Okay.
and I cut that segments,
Hmm.
of the movie, especially for that purposes,
What is the segment you cut from
I
the
cut
movie?
some segments, 4 segments for them, for
Okay.
for the Budapest schools,
Okay.
the circus,
The circus.
jungle,
Uh-huh.
the mm, factory farming,
Factory farming.
cow, and hunting,
Did they want to show those separately? Or is that what you did
Yes,
for them?
I
Okay.
think this is very good for the schools because we have now the movie,
Right. Right.
you could show one segment
Right.
like hunting
Hmm.
or circus, and you can talk about that to the children,
Right. Right.
and children can ask the questions after the movie, and
Right.
it is more much better,
Right. Right. So, how many segments are there in the documentary, in the 80-minute documentary?
14,
14 segments. Okay.
14, we have 14. Yes.
What are those segments? Do
Hmm?
you have a list of the segments?
We have circus, we have animals in entertaining,
Entertainment,
uh, in warfare,
warfare. Okay.
we have factory farming,
Factory farming,
milk or cow, and hunting,
hunting.
and I don't know,
Right.
so
Right.
many.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
so it's broken into segments, and you can take each segment
Yes,
and create a lesson out of it. Is that
yes,
the way it's
yes.
set up? Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Because we don't have a chronology,
right.
you know, we don't have timeline or
Right. 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 It's basically it's broken up into functions of how animals have served us in history.
yes.
Okay. Uh, I want to now talk to you about the petition that you have
Uh,
created online, the online petition. Um, so, what is the purpose of the petition, and who is the petition addressing?
well, we or me, I addressed the petition to the Rabbi Fatima,
Rabbi Fatima, and who
the
is she? She's the
president of the UNICEF.
UNICEF. Okay, this is the
So,
Children's Educational Fund.
yeah, so the petition, uh, it was the official start of this project, the petition.
I see.
Well, I made this petition because I'd like to involve people, more people, in this project, you know.
Hmm.
And it is pretty good idea because I have more and more people know about this and share this project, you know, petition and everything.
Hmm.
What we really need, we need to make this. Uh, we need more signatures, you know.
Signatures, yeah. I think you now have over 7. Do you have 7,000 signatures or 6,000 something signatures? Let me check. I think you
About
have over
about
6,700. Yeah,
about 7. Yes, it's.
right,
Well, I fight for every signature, you know,
right.
and I don't know what's going on. I send this uh, pledge to other organizations,
Hmm.
many animal
Right,
organizations, to share this with the subscribers.
right.
They really don't answer at all. You know.
Yeah,
I,
I put it in our newsletter, the last week's newsletter,
uh,
the link to the petition.
so
So
I don't know what's going on. It's very weird. The weird things are going on in the animal movement. I don't understand all that. So,
well, there are also good things going on, right? So,
oh,
uh,
of
tell
course.
us about what happened today. What did you get today?
Today, well, I have exclusive news today
Hmm.
because PETA Education Department
Okay,
will review the movie and the book,
wonderful,
and I think so. Ingrid Newkirk sent me this message,
wonderful,
so I think she loved this project. You know,
wonderful. That's really good to hear. That
yeah, yes.
Ingrid Newkirk is going to support this project. Good.
So I will send today the book and the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they will they will like this and join.
Right.
It could be very because the PETA already have uh, uh, some kind of humane education and
Mm-hmm.
some connections to the to to the people in the U.S. Education. You know,
Right.
so we will see.
Well, the animals are demanding that we start telling their story. That
Mm,
we need to educate our children about how animals have served us over the last 10,000 years and brought us to where we are. And
yeah,
now it's time to free them and
yes.
to take care of them. It's our job to give back now that we have taken from them.
I think we can do it.
I think we can do it too. That's why we are here in this Moonshot podcast, right? We want to get to a vegan world by 2026.
We are close like never before.
Absolutely.
Uh,
It's a gathering momentum, of people
mhm.
seeing how we have been indoctrinated. You can see in the books how we have been indoctrinated from childhood into
No
uh,
one can stop us now.
no one can stop us. Thank you.
No, really.
Right.
This is over.
This is, yeah,
Freedom is here, very close.
absolutely.
And we have that vegan mm, veganism. The products.
Hmm.
This market is growing very fast. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
this is very good also.
Even climate change is sending us the same message. Okay,
Yeah.
because we just published a paper showing that 87%, at least 87% of greenhouse gas emissions is coming from the animal agriculture industry.
Mm.
Because animal agriculture, there is a tremendous opportunity cost for doing animal agriculture, which is opportunity cost, meaning there is so much land that's being used that you could have put forests instead and you could be sequestering carbon instead, right? That's the opportunity cost of animal agriculture.
Mhm.
And on the other side, there is this horrific Faustian bargain, or the deal with the devil of fossil fuels. So, meaning all environmental organizations should be promoting veganism first and then promoting a transition to clean energy in a vegan world, right? It should be get to a vegan world as soon as possible, and then let's get to a clean energy economy by 2030, 2035, or something like that.
Agree.
Yeah, that's the right order in which to do this.
Well, we have some the biggest ecological organization like Greenpeace, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't promote veganism.
Well, it's going to change because that's what our paper did. Paper pointed out. Sorry, our paper pointed out that knowing the opportunity cost of animal agriculture
Mm.
and the horrific Faustian bargain of fossil fuels, if you don't promote veganism, you're really trying to kill us.
Yes.
Okay, they're really trying to kill us if they don't promote veganism.
Mm.
So we know that.
Well, we have that with this pandemic all around the world,
Right.
and people don't want to see why we have that. It came from the animals and from meat eaters.
Right.
So I talked with some doctors. They don't think about it. They rejected everything. This is
Right.
silly. People are in believe in this illusion.
Right.
It's I don't know.
So at Stevan, it's one of those things that people don't want to see, but it's staring them in the face. It's like an elephant is staring them in the face.
They're living in some, I don't know, in fog. They can't. I know this state of mind.
Right.
I was that
Exactly.
a long time ago,
Right.
and I was in some, I don't know, parallel life.
Uh-huh.
Hey, hi. In
Yeah,
some
this
yes,
she's the girl who speaks to animals.
yeah. I see. She's in the movie.
Right. She's in the movie too.
Go vegan.
Right. She says go vegan.
We don't have that message in the movie, and it's very good. She told that.
Right.
I like that. It's very good interview. Your
Right.
short interview.
When I finally forgot what grandma and grandpa, that's how I finally know how they feel.
She has to leave. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm glad you put that clip. Yeah.
Silas, you are in some Pacific time, standard time.
That's correct.
You're on Pacific somewhere. Where?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
What?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. Oh. So it's So what I want to say, I don't remember.
No,
Yeah, yeah, told me.
no. Thank you for everything you do, and and I'm so glad that you have that faith. It's going to happen. It's going to
Yeah,
happen.
I'm glad. I'm glad we met in this life.
Mm,
It is some. It is purpose in everything.
absolutely.
Everything.
Right.
So
Yeah, we are part of something much larger
yeah,
that's connecting us and saying, okay, work together.
yeah, that's wonderful. Life is wonderful. Like in the movie, life is wonderful. But the animals are suffering, suffering very much.
Animals are suffering. People are suffering.
Yes,
Even the people who are eating the animals are suffering because they have chronic diseases that didn't want.
yes. Well, I have an idea about the new film
Mhm.
documentary about that connection,
Mm,
animal suffering and people suffering. Why we have that?
right.
It is so many examples in the history. Something is we have some phenomena, uh, revenge of animals. Of course, it's not the revenge, but there is some karma.
Right.
It is very interesting topic.
So, are you planning to make a movie about that?
What?
Are you planning to make a movie about the connection between the suffering of animals and the suffering of people?
Well, it is. I'm making research about this topic.
Mm,
When I will send the book, and you will see one chapter with that name, Revenge of Animals, and you
mm,
will see the examples of this phenomena.
mm,
It is very old, and we have examples in the religion,
mhm,
and not only in history, in modern history.
mhm,
And I see connections between what people are doing to animals, and
mhm.
after that, what came back to the people,
Right.
in wars and disasters and everything. There is some connection. Of course, we can prove that scientifically.
Mm,
It's impossible, for us, because we don't have that state of mind, that level.
right.
But we can show that many examples, very weird thing. So I have some. You will see in the book that chapter,
Okay.
revenge of animals. Very very interesting thing. So I'd like to make that. It is a very huge topic, but
Right.
it could be very interesting. Very interesting. Like this movie. Well, this movie without
Mhm.
colorizing is it is much better now. Do you agree?
Yeah, with colorizing,
Yes.
it's much better. Yeah. I also promise you that I will take the book and the documentary to my granddaughter's school and ask them if they would incorporate that in their curriculum.
It's great. Thank you. Wow.
My pleasure.
Oh, very good. It would be very good for the animals, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Animals are waiting for that. Animals.
Yeah, especially now that I see the indoctrination that they're doing to her in the book, I'll point that out to them and say, you better cut that out. Otherwise, I'm going to protest. And so here is another way, you know, because the books are there. They cannot change the books. Those are the books that all schools are using. So you now have to compensate for that by showing these things and pointing out to the children that that statement in that comprehension was put there by the industry. You know, who else would say, well, the cow is eating food in order to make milk? The industry is sitting there writing textbooks for our children.
And that's the part in the movie and in the book about the, you know, animal machine. They don't see these creatures like creatures.
Right.
They see them like a machine, you know, Ottoman, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, it's René Descartes.
Yeah.
But
We must change.
So I'll also we're also working on a curriculum for vegan education. You know, what would vegan education look like? And so we need to have a chapter on animal history there in the curriculum, on how animals have brought us to where we are and why we need to be thanking them and all the abuse that happened to them. You know, so we need to be honest about it. And I think that will be an integral part of history in any vegan education school. It should be. So that's another promise I make to you. And so thank you so much for your work. It's inspiring to see someone who's motivated from within and who's driven by a higher cause. So thank you for your service.
Thank you, Salish, for everything.
A pleasure.